So I figured I'd make another little video showing my mentionable pickups for last month or so, and I figure I got most of the important ones. I don't know if I got every single one, but yeah, I got a nice little Game Boy storage case. I think it was like $5 from Half Price Books. It's kind of yellowed out, but I mean I thought it was cool just as far as just display wise, so there's that. And then just the other day, I actually picked up a Nintendo 64 in the box. The only problem is it didn't have the little styrofoam insert, which wasn't a big deal to me because I just needed something to keep my original crystal blue Nintendo 64 in, and just a nice little display for myself. I'll go to some of the games. I got actually I got Tetris 2 in the box, and there's a story behind this. I was actually at Goodwill the other day, and they had this game and a couple more I'll show you in a second, and I actually got this for like 50 cents, which was pretty cool. It wasn't supposed to be 50 cents, it was supposed to be like $5, but yeah, it's in the box, and it doesn't have the manual or anything, but it is complete. Besides the manual that it is with the game and everything. And the game, if you ever played Tetris 2, is not that great, but I mean, hey, it's not a bad little game to add to the collection. I actually almost forgot to include this, but here's the other thing I found at Goodwill. And the story was I was looking around, and these were just piled up, and what they are, they're Atari 5200 games. They were just piled up on the rack at my Goodwill, and it was just a whole bunch of them. There was no stickers on them at all. And what I did is I just threw them all in a basket, and I went up to the counter and I asked the lady, you know, how much do these go for? And she looked around and she's like, oh, you know, how about just $1 a piece? And that's what she did. And actually, when she rung it up, they have these little determined prices for some of their stuff, and she actually hit the 49-cent instead of the $1. So for 49 cents a piece, including that Tetris 2 game, I got Mario Brothers for the Atari 5200, Frogger, if I can grab one, Vanguard, Pac-Man, Pole Position, Space Dungeon, Miss Pac-Man, Super Breakout, Dig Dug, Space Invaders, River Raid, Star Wars the arcade game, Gorf, Astro Chase, Countermeasure, Star Raiders, Galaxian, Centipede, Crazy Shootout. And now for the box games, I got Q*bert, Defender, Missile Command, Joust, and last one is Berserk. As in, you can see the boxes aren't in the greatest condition, and I didn't really care if they weren't in prestige condition or not. I just want to see, you know, how cheap a way I could get them for. And I mean, obviously Atari 5200 isn't the most sought after Atari, but you know, I just thought it was cool. I mean, you can see I got like 30 some odd games here for 49 cents a piece, and it was like 13 bucks altogether or something like that. So for 13 bucks I got almost half of the games that come with the 5200 in the first place. So I mean, now all I gotta do is buy a 5200. So yeah, I thought that was a little cool, and I figured I'd share it with you guys. Another game I picked up would be classic Ice Climbers for the NES. If you've never played this game, I definitely recommend this. It's actually it's definitely a classic. Got the 5-screw edition. I don't know if that's rare or not, but and I got and South for the NES. It's a cool little game. It's actually, I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. I don't know how to explain this game. It's kind of like you either choose North or South, and basically, obviously, you fight each other. If you're American, you know what the Civil War is about. But yeah, it's kind of, I don't know what game to compare it to, but I mean, it's pretty cool nonetheless. And we got Short Order and Explode for the Power Pad. Not too many games for the Power Pad. This one is actually pretty cool. I mean, it's obviously like a kid's game, one of those like family type games, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. Especially if you have the Power Pad to go with it. And then, I don't even know how to explain this, or how to pronounce this. Sicross, maybe that's how it's called. Weird little like virtual motorcycle game. It's actually extremely easy, but at the same time it's really weird. So enough of that. And I got League Bowling for the MVS. I actually picked this up for like 20 bucks. It was actually $1, and it was like, I think it was like 19 bucks to get it shipped from Canada. But yeah, it's an original, so no bootleg or anything. It's pretty cool. And then actually just recently I got a couple Genesis games. I got Gadget Twins, and this is just some weird, like, I don't even know, you're like a little plane and you go around punching people. It's just odd. I think I got it for like a couple bucks, so I figured might as well try it. And I think it's worth $10 or so, so whatever. And I got this weird little Rolling Thunder 2 made by Namco. It's a cool game, but it's hard as hell. You get shot once, you like die. Or I'm sorry, you get shot twice and you die. And then I got Bubsy. I was recommended this game by a couple different sites, so I figured, I see it all the time, I just never picked it up, and it's kind of cool. I mean, if you've never seen it before, look up a video or so, but it's a fun little game. I definitely wouldn't call it like have to own, but it's cool nonetheless. And then for the Super Nintendo, I got Mario is Missing, and it's weird, this game's actually made by the people who make the Miracle Piano for the NES, and I guess they're all about educational games, because this is an educational game, and it's terrible, but I mean, at least you get to play Luigi. In my personal opinion, Luigi is better than Mario, so it's a it's something, alright. I wouldn't call it good, but. And then I got Lost Vikings 2 for the Super Nintendo. I've never played the first one, but this one was actually, it was neat. It's a different type of game. It's got some humor to it, so it's made by Interplay, so they make a bunch of junk. And then my favorite pickup, I guess you'd call, for the Super Nintendo would be The Legend of Mystical Ninja. And if you don't know what this game is, Americans probably wouldn't know what this game is, because it's about a Japanese character named Goemon, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And actually, they only have the first one in the US, to my knowledge, and I've seen online, I think they have 2, 3, and 4 on the Super Famicom, but it's a fun little game, actually. It's actually fun to play with 2 players, so definitely recommend it. It's a little pricey, though. It goes about 15, 20 bucks. I think I picked up for like 12, I want to say, but that's a cool little pickup. And then I actually found this today, and granted, I don't know everything about it yet, but through a little research, I was finding it seems like quite a little gem, and I found actually a Kids Gear, which to my knowledge is basically the second version of the Game Gear that was released, and it was obviously it was towards kids, and it was only released in Japan, and I found this actually at my local Goodwill. Sucky part is it does not have the battery covers. Like most of these Game Gears, they do not have the battery covers, so I gotta find it. But it does work. I mean, it does power on, and I don't have a game in here right now, but I mean, you can see the screen works, LED lights up, but it does work. I cleaned it up, and I haven't gotten all nice and shiny yet, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's honestly the nicest looking Game Gear I've ever seen, and the screen, I don't think it's different than the original Game Gear, but just the condition of the internal parts and stuff are better than my Game Gear, so actually games play better on this, but it's kind of cool. I mean, it plays US region Game Gear games, but it kind of converts some of the text over to Japanese, which is kind of cool. But yeah, that's definitely a good pickup for me. I mean, I've seen on eBay they go up towards $160 or something like that. Some of those are probably in a little better condition than this. As you can see here, this got a couple scratches and scuffs. But I mean, overall, it's really not a bad piece. It's actually in pretty good condition. So that was a nice little pickup for me. I don't have any other variants of the Game Gear than this one. I guess I should be proud that I have this one because it looks like quite a nice piece. And I got one other game that's you might have heard during the whole video playing in the background. I picked up this for the CPS2. If you can't tell what this is, it's Alien vs. Predator, and it's quite a costly game. And I actually found this locally, and I got it for $35, I believe, from a guy selling it over Craigslist. So nice little game. I just changed the battery in it, and it's working fine, as you can clearly see. I already set up a free play. I mean, it's not Phoenix, so the battery could die, but I mean, it could easily be restored nowadays. But I mean, it's working great, and it's actually a very expensive game, going up to about, I've seen a Phoenix version actually go on eBay recently for about 300 bucks. So, but yeah, those are the games I found recently. Thanks for watching.